Good morning students, welcome to our online class. I am S. Mohana Sundari, Department of Chemistry. In this session we are going to learn Introduction to Chemistry. So these are the things we are going to discuss in this session. Role of chemistry in our daily life, that is in food preservation, agriculture, cosmetics, clothing, medicines, in industries. So there is lot of chemistry works in this field. So we are going to discuss the role of chemistry in these headings. Okay, role of chemistry in our daily life. Just imagine you are waking from your bed and you are going to bathroom and you are taking your brush and using toothpaste you are brushing your teeth, and you are washing your body by using soap. So these are the things which is made up of chemicals and when we are using in our daily life. So chemistry is involved in ourselves as well as in around us as well as in our daily routine. So chemistry is rolling in our cooking, batteries, food, paper, soap, petrol, concrete, plastic, cloths, crackers and etc. Okay, let us see the first one. In food preservation methods, how the chemicals are using. Okay, old methods of food preservation. Food preservation is nothing but we are keeping food for several days without any spoilage. So the old methods are drying, smoking, salting. Drying means we are keeping that food material by sunshade or directly to the sun rays. By drying we can preserve it for several months or several days. Smoking means for preservation of meats, flesh of meats, flesh of animals without any spoilage, without any decaying. Smoking method is used. Salting, nowadays we are using this salting method like pickling, mango pickle, lemon pickle. So salting method is used for pickling. That is also we are using in our daily life in food items. Apart from the olden methods, nowadays we are using modern techniques for food preservation. The first one is canning, pasteurization, freezing and adding preservatives. What is canning? Canning means a sterile bottle or a glass bottle we are keeping our food like tightly packed. So by tightly packing that, the food will not spoil and we can use for several days. And also frozen food. Frozen food means we keep it in refrigerator to avoid the damage or spoilaging and also to avoid the development of fungus or bacteria in the food. So canning is to preserve the food by keeping it in a tight packed container, and frozen food is by giving very low temperature to preserve that food. And pasteurization is mainly used in milk to keep purification and without any damage, without any curdling. So pasteurization means when we give high temperature to milk, it starts boiling and we have to make it to cool. So giving high temperature and let it is cool, that this process will keep the milk keep the milk as it is for few days without any curdling or spoiling of the milk. Next, packing food containing preservatives. So packed foods, you can see Coca-Cola, while you opening the bottle some gas will come out. So what is the main use of that gas means that liquid contained in the Coca-Cola should not be spoiled for several months or several days. As well as in packed foods like tomato pickle or tomato sauce, or nowadays you are eating some chips, lays, like that, we can see some gases are stuffed into that cover to avoid the spoilage of the things which is present inside. So these are the methods for preservation of food. Next one, role of chemistry in agriculture. Agriculture means that is a field work. lot of grains or cereals are growing in the field, so we have to protect it from the insects, and by using some fertilizers like urea, calcium nitrate, potassium nitrate. So these are the chemicals used as a fertilizer to kill insects which spoils the crops. So this fertilizer protects the crops from pests and also insects. So commonly methoxychlore and bordeaux mixtures are used as a pesticides to avoid the damage of crops from insects. So underline the fertilizer names in page number 16, that second paragraph: urea, calcium nitrate, potassium chloride, and examples of common pesticides: malathion, copper sulfate, and also methoxychlore and bordeaux mixtures. Next, insecticides and pesticides. Now only we said in example of insecticides is copper sulfate and pesticides is bordeaux mixture. Role of chemistry in cosmetics. So since ancient times, our mankind was explored for various beautifying ways. So beautifying our body, beautifying our face by wearing some jewels or makeuping. So chemistry is involved in cosmetics also. So cosmetics, take page number 16 and underline the cosmetics, that block letter word. So cosmetic refers to substance that are used to beautify the body, like face powder, lipstick, nail polish, deodorants, perfumes, shampoos, body wash. So these are all example for cosmetics. So thickness. So in thickness, stearic acid, magnesium, aluminum silicate are used as a thickness. So moisturizer, beeswax, olive oil, glycerol, petroleum jelly, these are all used as a moisturizers. So sunscreens means it protects us from our sun rays. So it protects the skin from harmful sun rays. So sunscreens are mostly composed of titanium dioxide. So it is a very strong capacity to block the ultraviolet rays from the sun. And also talcum powder is everyday we are using. After washing our face, after towel dry, we are using talcum powder to make up our face. So talcum powder is made up of magnesium carbonate and zinc oxide. So next one, role of chemistry in clothing. So in ancient time, people used to cover their body by leaves and dead animal skin. After that, they use cotton from the plant, and later that they discovered silk, wool from that animals. And now the advance of chemistry, the advance of today's trend is man-made fibers or synthetic fibers. So man-made fibers are many types: nylon, rayon, polyester, acrylic, terling. So underline these words in page number 17, chemistry in clothing. So you can underline that first paragraph, that block letter synthetic fibers. So these man-made fibers are made of chemical substance and are called synthetic fibers. Example: nylon, terling, rayon. So these are all example for synthetic fibers. And these fibers are used in making of swimwear, and also we are brushing, that brushing strips and ropes, parachutes, and clothing, various types of cloths. And terrycot means cotton plus nylon mixed is called cotton, plus terylene mixed is called terrycot. In the name itself we can see terrycotton. So terylene plus cotton gives terrycot, and it is used in nowadays for by making shirts, salwars. So this is terrycot is also used for clothing. Fiber is also used as a clothing fiber. So this is called semi-synthetic fiber because half cotton and half terylene is mixed in. So this is called semi-synthetic fibers. And terylene is also used for making clothings, bottles. Bottles are also made up of terylene. And also parachutes are made up from nylon. Swimwears and the ropes are made up of nylon. So nylon is a water repulsive. So while swimming suits we are swimming means it will not absorb the water. It will not absorb it like a shiny coat surface, so it will not absorb water and the body will not get that wetness. So synthetic fibers or man-made fibers, this is developed because of the invention of chemistry in various kinds of sources. So apart from cotton, silk, wool, these kind of fibers are developed, and from these we are using various kinds of, we are making various kinds of things. So the next one, role of chemistry in medicines. So in page number 17, chemistry in medicines, you have to underline that block word medicines. Medicines are chemical substance used to cure, treat or prevent diseases. So medicines, without medicine we cannot survive. If we fall in ill, we have to take some medicines to cure that. So it will cure or it will kill some microorganism present in our body. So by using chemicals, medicines are made. So antibiotics, the first one in page number 17, the upper right side you can see the antibiotics. So antibiotics is a substance used to kill microorganisms. So penicillin is known as one of the best antibiotics, and it was invented by the scientist Alexander Fleming. So these antibiotics are used to treat bacterial infections. Next one, analgesics. Analgesics are used to reduce pain. So analgesics is also made up of some chemical substance, and it is used to reduce pain. Like if you are feeling a headache or body pain, analgesics are preferred to use. So paracetamol or basic analgesics. Next, antiseptics, some chemical substance which prevent the growth of microorganisms in wounds or sores is called antiseptics. So if you fell down, there will be some scratches or wound in your hand. So to avoid the unwanted microorganism growth in your skin, antiseptics are used. So antiseptics prevents the growth of microbes in the wounds or sores. Next, antacids. Antacids is used to neutralize excess of acids produced in our stomach. So milk of magnesia is an example for antacids. If that means a gastric problem or acidity. Acidity means there is a lot of acid content in our body. So to neutralize that, to keep balancing, these antacids are used to drink, or it is available in capsules also. It is available as a liquid also. So antacids are used to neutralize the excess acid produced in our stomach. So the next one, role of chemistry in industries. So role of chemistry in industries means there is large number of products are produced from industries, glasses, plastics, paper, etc. So these are all things that produced from industries, because the ores contain several types of metals. These ores are taken by the industry and separated under some certain process, and the exported will be our needed things. So these types of ores are taken by the industries, and it will produce our important or useful things. So let us see what are the things that is playing a vital role in industries. So plaster of Paris, commonly we can say it as a POP, plaster of Paris. So plaster of Paris is formed by the heating of gypsum, that is calcium sulfate dihydrate. Gypsum is nothing, it is a calcium sulfate dihydrate. So it is mixed with water, it sets to a hard mass. So it is used for making some statues. So when we mix gypsum with water, after sometimes it tends to hard. So we can make some statues, and also surgical plasters. Some fractures it may happen means The surgical plasters are made up of this plaster of Paris, and also it is used for decorating in ceiling. So decorative ceiling in house, you can see this type of decorations in your house. So this is made up of gypsum, that is plaster of Paris. Next, cement. So cement is widely used in constructions. You all know that cement is a very very important thing to build anything. So cement is made up of gypsum, limestone and clay. So the total mixture of these things is give cement. And also calcium stearate is mixed with cement to make it as a waterproof. So cement is also developed by chemicals. The next one, glass. Glass is a very transparent substance and it is made up of silicate, and also it is prepared by using limestone, soda ash, sand. So sand means normal sand, not it is a one kind of terms sand, that is silicon dioxide. So glass is a transparent substance and it is made up of silicate. So it can be molded into any shape. You can see bulb, tube light and your face mirroring glass, and different types of jars, glass tumblers. So it can be molded into any shape. So there is various types of glasses. First one is soda lime glass, pyrex glass, crystal glass. Soda lime glass are used as window panes, tableware items, bulbs. These are all made up of soda lime glass. Pyrex glass is maximum used in laboratory as well as in cooking process to measure the levels, because that will be measured and that will be molded into laboratory needed items. And also flask, beaker and all made up of this pyrex glass because it can withstand at a very high temperature. Next, crystal glass. So it is used in making lenses, prisms. So crystal glasses are used there. Photochromatic glass, it is used for making spectacles, cameras. These photochromatic glass are used there. Next is safety glass. It is used in windscreens in car, trains, automobiles. So these safety glasses are used there. Next, potash glass. It has high melting and resistant to acids, so it is used in making laboratory apparatus. So potash glass is has a very high melting point, because in labs we can test so many things, so many temperatures. So there should be very high melting point glass should be used. So potash glass has very high melting point, as well as it should be resistant to acids. When we adding some acids in the test tube or beaker, it should not get damaged by that acids. So it should be resistant to that acids. So potash glasses are used, as well as pyrex glasses are also used to withstand high temperature. So that flask we can pour on hot water and it can stay that hot for several hours. So that type of heat will withstand at pyrex glass. Okay, the next one, soaps and detergents. So in everyday we are using soaps and detergents to wash our body. So in soaps are made up of sodium and potassium salts, and they have a missile. Missile means they have a water attracting and water repelling part. So water repelling part gets attached to the dirt. So in our body or a cloth, if there is a dirt, that water repelling part get attached to the dirt. If you pour water, means that water repelling part will attach to the dirt and forms like a foam, that is called micelles. So this will be removed from the body, or this will be removed from that cloth. So while using soap we wash our body, means the dirt things from our body will be removed, as well as using detergents we are washing Cloths means the dirty things are removed from that cloths. And the next one, plastics. So it is made from polymers such as polyethylene, PVC, nylon, Teflon, etc. Plastics. We are using various kinds of plastics in our daily life, right? Your bottles, your boxes, everything is made up of plastic. Your sitting chair, that cable wires, the handle of pan, eating cup, everything is made up of plastics. So this is made from several types of polymers such as polyethylene, polyvinyl chloride, that is PVC, nylon, Teflon, etc. So whether apart from this, there are these kinds of various types of plastics are there. Just for you just read this: commodity plastics, engineering plastics, high temperature plastics, extreme temperature plastics. So in the page number 19, you can see that plastics, there will be two types of plastics: thermoplastics and thermosetting plastics. Thermoplastic means it can be melted and used repeatedly, but thermosetting plastic means once it is shaped, we cannot melt that and we cannot use it again into another purpose. So this is the basic difference between thermoplastics and thermosetting plastics. So example for thermoplastic means daily using polythene bags, your playing cars, that means playing toys, that cable wire, you can see the plastic enamel behind that wires. So like data cable wire, laptop charger wire. So we can see that plastic coating, like plastic substance around that copper wire. So that type of plastics is also called thermoplastic. It can be melted at high temperature and we can use it for several other purpose. But thermosetting plastic, we cannot use it again. So it is used as bottle caps and electrical parts, car bodies, drums, several tools, door knobs. So these are all made up of thermosetting plastic. We cannot melt it again. Okay, we cannot use it repeatedly. Most thermosetting plastics are very useful because it could not melt at high temperature, while thermoplastics will melt when we giving some high temperature. If the temperature rise, automatically the thermoplastics will start melting, but thermosetting plastics will never. And the next one, paints. It is a thick chemical liquid produced from the particles of zinc, magnesium and aluminum salts. So paint, you can see the various colors of paints. You will get attracted to the paints. You are using paint to color your papers or color the toys, color the statues, and also coloring your wall. So paint is used for several purposes. So coloring pigments are used to make them colorful. So pink color, yellow color, red color, sky blue. So various colors of paints are available and various colors coloring pigments are used to give that color. So let us see the two types of paints. One is water soluble paint and another one is oil soluble paints. So oil soluble paints means that paint is mixed with turpentine oil while applying. So we can use paint to apply the walls from decaying, to prevent the walls of buildings from decaying. So there is several types of paints: oil paints, enamel paints, emulsion paints, cement paints, aluminium paints, bituminous paints, plastic paints, graphite paints, anti-corrosive paints, luminous paints. So these are all used as a paints for several purposes. Enamels are also comes under paints. So the enamels are used for polishing some surfaces and in refrigerators, some pots, metals. So these are all comes under paint category. So enamel are also comes under paint category to polishing the non-porous surface. And the next one is dye. Dye is an organic substance that can be obtained naturally or also by synthetically, that is artificially. So dyes are obtained from certain plants like beetroots, turmeric and various flowers. So chemical dyes are obtained from alizarin red and indigo blue. Dyes are also made from salts of iron, aluminium, chromium, etc. So these dyes are all used in textile industry to color the clothes. So we are wearing different colors of clothes, different designs. According to the designs, the coloring are made up of. So from natural dyes are also using there, chemical dyes are also using there, and also natural dyes are used for coloring our hair. So dyes are used everywhere. And the last one is silicone. Underline the word silicone in page number 20. Silicones are substance made up of combination of silicone and other chemicals. So silicone and other chemicals are combined to give silicones. They have high melting and boiling point, and also it is very flexible. They are resistant to heat and water. Resistant means they repel, they will not get melted. When we give heat means they would not get melted. And if you are giving high boiling point, that means we are using that to boil something, means it will be resistant to the heat. So due to these reasons, they are very commercially used in huge industries and automotive products, in constructions, electronics, coatings, textiles, and personal uses. So these silicones are used in our daily life. And also due to this flexible, it is very flexible. So due to this flexible character, this is used for baking ware and cookware, and also it is very easy to wash that vessel which is made up of silicones. And also it is used in makeup kits. Makeup kits are placed in that this silicone ware, so it will not impact any odor. It will not get any odor of that food or things we kept in that silicone ware. So this silicone are very useful, and it also used in aircraft and spacecraft. And also because the silicones are already, I said, they have high melting and boiling point. Due to this character, silicones are also used in aircraft and spacecraft assembly, and it withstand with a high stress and temperature. Thank you students for watching this and listening this. I hope you all understand. So in page number 20, that graphic organizer, role of chemistry in our daily life, you have to read it once again, because role of chemistry in our daily life has various type of aspects, and various impacts are happening, because chemistry is very important. So food and its preservation also chemistry role there. In agriculture also chemistry is very important, very useful. Cosmetics, clothing, medicine industries, at various aspects chemicals are used. Thank you students.